Hello, hello. Here comes the first set of lesson ideas and exercises of what you can do with this educational, minimalist, cardboard smart house. And if you want to know how to build this, give your students manual how to build it, check out the previous video. But now let's get to coding. This project is powered by Calliope Mini. Before we start, I have to show you how each component of the smart house actually work. And first thing is the door. We have it operated by a servo motor, and to control it, we have to note one thing, and it has to be checked during the building process, at which servo position is the door actually opened and closed. And to control the door, we use a block from pins category. It is servo right pin. And in my case, the servo is connected to the servo board, and it is connected to the pin C14. And I already checked it before that my door is closed when the servo is set to 160, and it is open when I set it to 60, position number 60. And now when I download this code, you see that now the door are full open, and when I set it again to 160, the door is closed. Be aware that in each model, in each construction, these values will be slightly different, and pay attention to mount the servo in a way that will allow the door to fully open. Another component of our smart house is a lighting module, which is powered by NeoPixel. It's an external module from the Calliope mini controller, and NeoPixels are very cool type of LEDs, which are very fun to work with because they can be each programmed separately to the whole range of RGB, red, green, blue colors, and we can animate them in plenty of ways. But if you don't have this kind of module, you can use a regular LED module without RGB color control, or in the most basic scenario, you could use LEDs built into the Calliope mini controller. We could use these three LEDs, and they are outside the house, so this will have no aesthetic sense, but it's good enough for testing the coding concepts. So when it comes to NeoPixels, they have to be operated in a specific way. We have to add an extension to our project. Simply type NeoPixel in the extension browser and choose the first one. And now to set up our NeoPixel module, I have to initiate it with a set strip to NeoPixel at pin. Mine is connected to C15 at the servo board. And I have 4 LEDs of RGB format. And now I can set them to, for example, color red in the forever loop. And to apply any change to this LED module, I have to always use the strip show block. Now the lights in my house turned red. Maybe we could also open the door to make it more visible. Okay, and if I want to apply some animation, I can simply maybe add another change of the color to, for example, blue, and update it again with the strip show block. Let's test it. And now you might think that the color only turned to blue instead of switching between red and blue as I intended to, but this is because the frequency of the changes is very fast, so we have to also add a pause block between each steps of our sequence. Let's set it to half a second. Okay, now you see that the colors in my smart house are changing. This is the basic control. We will do more with it later. Let's leave it for now. And another component of our smart house is the window opening sensor. And it is done in a very basic way. You see that these two bolts are simply connected with alligator clips to a digital pin number 0 on the Calliope mini board. And we simply detect the closing and opening of the circuit between ground pin and P0. We will use it later on to code the alarm in our smart house. And last but not least, we have a DC motor here in the back. We have to be careful not to collide with the cable. Here's the DC motor. It symbolizes the air conditioning in our smart house. And to control it, we use the blocks from the motors category. My DC motor is connected to the port M0, and simply let's do on button click, set the M0 to, and we can control it from 100% to minus 100%. The motor can turn in both directions, and this is a regular DC motor without gearbox, so it turns very, very fast. So my suggestion is not to exceed the 10% of its speed. Let's set it to 10% on button A click. On button B, let's set it to 0. So A button starts the motor and B button stops the motor. And now let's test it. The button A turns on the motor, the button B turns it off.